Ladies and gentlemen, it is lovely to have you here, folk of non-binary persuasions. It's all good. We're just going to go with folks, I think, in future. Please have a seat. So, welcome to InfoSec Unlocked University. This is our final open to the public panel of the day. After this will be a panel that is solely for information security conference organizers only, and it will be a closed and confidential session after that. So what we have for our closing keynote of the day is Deviant Olaf. He's going to teach us all how to build an information security talk from the ground up. It's going to be how to do slides, how to create something interesting people want to hear. We're going to build on all the information that Steve gave us earlier, and all of our distinguished panelists earlier gave us some subject areas to teach every one of us how to create an information security talk. Also, he's my husband as of 27 days ago. So, I don't usually do this for people I'm introducing on stage, but I have a good time.
So, how many people enjoyed meeting others in this room? We have a tiny room, but there's really good content, and the idea of breaking down a lot of barriers to get people on the main stages at DEF CON who haven't historically been there, I support this very much. I am who you see at DEF CON. I am a straight white cis male. I've been coming since DEF CON 8. I have presented probably about 12 times now on main stages, and a lot of people like me keep presenting over and over. And here is the very this is going to be very, very Alec Baldwin and Glengarry Glen Ross, like hard truth time. How many of you have seen talks that were amazing content, but the speaker and the presentation itself was really weak? And you're like looking around the audience, and you're like, they don't know what's going on. Shit, that's amazing. Even things like a live demo that dropped something awesome. Little things like if the audience didn't rock it, or there wasn't even a beat where the audience could cheer, that gets lost. How many people have seen the same speakers over and over recycle kind of like the same talk, but they get rave reviews and everyone comes? There's a reason for this. The truth, the fucking hard truth, is that your talk is not just your content. Your research is your work. Your presentation is more than that. Your presentation is a story. You are telling a story, and you have to bring the audience with you on a whole arc. And if this magical thing happens, this group mind, when everyone is in the same room, seeing you up there, the difference between, oh, I heard about so-and-so, I think they did some work on that thing once, and, oh my God, so-and-so, they are the freaking master of that thing, and I saw it happen at DEF CON, whatever. The difference is if the audience comes away, like coming out of a movie theater, like talking with each other, like, oh my God, and that thing, like the chatter afterwards, it's because you built a story. Every story has only a few key elements. You've got a setting, you've got characters that matter, there's some sort of peril or problem or something they're overcoming, and then there's how they approached it. Like what you did. Are there tools? Are there techniques? Are there something that ended up in a resolution? And that resolution could be good, bad, surprising, who cares? But these elements should be present in everything you do. If you can't take a piece of research, a new bit of code, a new idea, and fit it into those 5 steps, fuck right off. Because you can write a white paper that I can read on my own time on an airplane, and I don't have to sit through 50 minutes of you not telling a story. Let's make a HackerCon talk, right? Maybe there's an office building and you work in this is the setting, and a bunch of people are your coworkers. And oh my God, there's this problem that people don't make coffee the right way, or they never refill it, or I don't know what happened, but there's a problem to solve. Oh wow, this is my hacker moment because blinky things with Arduinos and Raspberry Pis and such, and look at this code. What did we do? Boom! Yay! I made a smart coffee maker. That's a story arc. And that builds all the elements you need to tell a story. Now, at a con itself, when there's an audience, not just like a picture book, right? When there's an audience, there is a 6th step. How can I do this, or learn from it, or build something new from it? If it's not something the audience wants to get up and say, oh man, I want to do that, or I want to tell someone else about, maybe I know a friend who has this problem. If they can't take something away from it, again, why are they here and not just reading this online or watching a YouTube video later? Like, here's my, hey, what's up YouTube? I made this thing in my coffee maker. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like, you want audience engagement because they want to come out of there charged up. There's a really interesting story about the Food Network before they really knew what the hell they were doing. If you watch really early Food Network footage of, like Bobby Flay and stuff had this show called like Grillin' and Chillin' with some Cajun chef, and like early Food Network, they didn't know what they really did. And people, stand-up comedians made jokes about it, like, oh look, there's food on the screen, you can't eat it. There was a show called Top Chef. It was the elimination show where they were trying to find the next Food Network star. And during one challenge, literally the judges, they said to this one contender, they say, what do you think we do here at Top Chef? Who watches us? Who watches the Food Network? And the contender was like, well, people who are, they like food. I made this amazing whatever. And they said, no, Food Network is for home cooks. No one gives a damn as much about the thing on the screen as trying to replicate it at home. That is what your talk is about. Your talk is to drive that takeaway. And if you want to be a good teacher and instill inspiration and wisdom, think of the best teachers you had in school. What were they? Were they just really smart, like the best math teacher? Did they just know math? Or did they make math interesting and fun? Did they make you engage? Did they make you laugh? Did they have you following along? You have to be that on stage. You are more than just your research when you're up here. To be engaging and captivating, you want to make people follow along, laugh. You want to present well. And you want to present something that isn't just you with your back half to the audience reading your slides. This is the section where I'm basically just going to scold other people that I've seen and crap all over things. Believe me, this is the section where you're going to learn everything not to do. And it's funny because I told people on Twitter I was going to give this talk, and like Darth Null, David, like other people who were like, oh man, I've seen bad slides. I was like, hey, I'm going to dig through your slides. So you're going to see my friend's slides are up here. But right off the bat, straight off the hop, get the text the fuck off your slides. I've been giving this talk for 15 minutes now. I'm on slide 20. You can see basically no words except for the very top of my screen. Like, I love this tweet. Someone says, if your slides look like a bottle of Dr. Bronner's, no. Your slides are not your speaker notes. I have speaker notes. They're over here. I'm like glancing at them occasionally because again, I'm not reading those. There are a couple of bullets. But get your slide, like what is this? What on earth, I mean, some of you, I don't even know what this topic is, but I just lost some of you for a minute because the human brain starts reading and it starts reading some more. They had so many successes, they couldn't fit them all on one slide. And it's so successful that the audience left this talk probably not feeling wowed because the audience just sat there reading. Oh my God, like literally this is a real slide. I know these people, they're really smart. Get this off your text, get the text off there. Oh my God. Kristen Paget, arguably one of the most brilliant researchers, and she's incredible and an inspiration to a lot of people who are trying to break the sort of white cis het male wall, right? This talk was about guard bunny. Incredible talk. This didn't need to be on slides. I'm targeting people who are real like heavyweights in the industry because it's not fair to be just like crapping all over someone you've never heard of. Please learn a diagram. If you don't know how to diagram, don't. Just use stock big images. Like, I don't care if you made amazing code, show me a photo of like the circuit board of the Raspberry running it. Just throw a Raspberry on the screen and talk about, well, my code does this, and then if there's a problem, I can detect that. And we had to get these sensors from SparkFun, and I sampled some of them. Like this, I don't know what that's supposed to be. This is just raw, like a dump of data on screen. Why? These are all real slides. These are all real slides.
So I assume that, I have a slide that looks like that, and the goal of that is to say, and you can't understand this.
So that's the hard thing. Like, I get that this really is, if you saw, this is ShmooCon talk. If you saw how they dug out various information that they needed to reverse engineer something, that's impressive. But for me, I personally wouldn't put this up here. Now, you can ask me, oh, how would you do it differently? I would have to kind of see, well, it's the whole material and build it in a different way. For me, honestly, or you put this in the background of your slide and you have a big highlight pop-up box with just like the private key on it. Yes, question?
So I usually use my slide decks as I want to give you an hour-long tutorial in 10 minutes, come back and read it later. Mm-hmm. So I have a picture and then I have a bunch of text that I de-emphasize. And I say, go back and read this, look at the picture.
So many people do it, and many conferences encourage, like, here, give us the slides, we want to let the users download the slides. So how do you give the users that resource? That's a really interesting point. I know that I have two versions of almost all my slide decks for teaching. One is the presentation deck, and one is the downloadable deck. Or I dump a lot of that material in the slide notes, which people can grab. Yes, Rick?
Also throw everything into an appendix if I want to read it later.
Yeah, so you can work with appendix. Because remember, your slides are props. Your slides are not every detail in the content. Your slides are helping you tell the story. You are the storyteller. Your material comes through later on, right? They are, think of them as like pictures in a picture book. Literally, I mean, most of my slides have just been, I'm kind of up here expostulating, but they're just kind of hit. They're giving you a set and setting. They're giving you an atmosphere for what I'm talking about. Google image search is your friend. When you are talking, by the way, don't talk too much about yourself. I realize there's this element, especially at the beginning of everyone's talk, where they sort of say, hey, this is who I am, and I did this stuff, and I'm a researcher for blah blah company, but my opinions are my own, not my employers. They do all that bullshit. That's in the bio in the program. Someone already knows that about you. It's, if you're on a date, you don't want to just talk about yourself all night. You want to have conversation. So the main thing that's the biggest offender in this space is what I call the elementary school intro. It's like you're writing a 5-paragraph essay, and you have to write the bullet points at the top paragraph, like, who's seen this slide in a talk? Well, hey guys, so here's what we're going to do. This is the problem we have, and then we did this hack. So I decided that I would try this thing, and like a minute later, you clicked off this slide, and this is nothing. Like, why are you wasting everyone's time? Or, because again, the rule, don't use so many words. Who's seen this slide? This slide conveys fuck all. Get it out of your deck. I'm so glad you told me there'd be a Q&A at the end, because that would have really taken me by surprise if you didn't put that up there in the outline.
Can you tell us what you really think?
I know. See, but again, audience laughter is good. If everyone's laughing, they're thinking they're experiencing this moment together. And I haven't really given you anything super meaningful yet. I've just kind of crapped on bad ideas. But you're gonna walk out of here saying, oh yeah, I saw that talk, that was funny, we were all laughing. Memes are good, humor is good. Memes can make you look outdated. Humor is good, but again, if it's outdated, like Bad Luck Brian, a lot of people in this room don't even know this one. Sorry, too many words on a comic strip? Poorly drawn lines is awesome, but I just lost every one of you for 30 seconds. I'll wait. It's funny. It's like dark, but it's funny. Yeah. We're all back together, right? So you just spent an hour reading that. Funny shit, you should follow this webinar. Poorly drawn lines is badass shit. Your slides are just quick bits of humor occasionally. Keep humor quick and simple if you wanted to laugh. There we go. See, now we're on the same page again. Very good. If you want people to not literally throw tomatoes at you, or virtually throw them, which is the equivalent of Twitter heckling, right? Yes, empty bottles of whiskey wung at your head. You don't want that? Here are some things additionally. Learn how to run your shit. By that I mean, if you have a laptop that's literally like it's a brand new laptop, you've never mucked around with it, you don't know like how to connect things, you are wasting everyone's time. If you don't have the right I have a bit like dongle, we didn't have the way to connect this projector, but I have my dongle. Like I have a bunch of connectors. If you spend 5, 10, or even 20 minutes in your hotel room making sure you understand how to connect to all different settings, how to muck about with your display settings, that's 20 minutes that just got spent on that problem. If you are the person at the front of the room as you're about to talk, and this is on the screen for more than 5 minutes, you have just wasted 5 minutes times 1,000 people's time. That is way more time than this problem deserved. You are the problem at that point.
Bring your own shit.
Exactly.
So many times the conference will have your own laptop that will run stuff on.
Yeah.
But you run into like format problems or
Render nailed it. He said bring your own shit, absolutely, and I talk about that. By the way, remember, if you have sound in your presentation, understand how to connect sound. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. And by the way, you understand sound in your presentation means you're playing video, right? You're not using like PowerPoint transition slide sounds. You don't do that. That's no bueno. Oh my God. I have seen laptops go the fuck off during presentations. I have seen them power down. I've seen them go to sleep. You might have a 99% battery, but you don't have your power settings configured, and the goddamn thing went to sleep. Figure that out before you talk. Waste your time, don't waste the audience's time. And this sounds really unfair, but you are not going to be remembered as that person who had that amazing presentation if a bunch of people are grumbling every few minutes about some demo that's not working or why isn't this video playing. Fucked up fonts. Oh my God, as you just pointed out. Oh, we have an event laptop. Give us your slides so we can load them onto the event laptop. Why don't you fuck the fuck off then? Imaginary conference organizer. No. I know I said no words. This is all up here for you. Make any of these or all of these excuses in an email. If an event organizer says, oh my God, you need to power it from our laptop. No, I fucking don't.
Exploit code. Yeah, oh, that's a good one.
Oh yeah. Borrow any of these excuses.
Has hacker tools on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It only runs with this version of Java that was licensed in South Africa before apartheid, and now the code's different. Make anything up. Oh my God, the conference template. Be sure to download and use our conference template.
Thank you.
Nope.
If I had $1 for every black hat presentation I saw that used a corporate template, I could retire.
Yeah. Don't use the bullshit template. And by the way, I don't know if you saw when we were just this. It's not like I planned this. As an example, this is the first slide in every slide deck I ever built. This is the first slide. This up here is actually an image right here. This is an image of my text. So I can instantly see, or an AV person can instantly see if something's wrong. And I do, like sometimes I'm going into a cleared facility. Like I just can't bring my tech. I have to submit it beforehand. But even whoever at Fort Meade is pulling up my slides, they can tell, oh shit, this is broken. And I give them a link right here, like download the right font. Is the aspect ratio correct? These are little things. If your laptop catches on fire at the last minute, do you have a backup of your presentation? Again, it's not your fault. It could be someone from the previous speaker is trying to get off stage and they dump a beer on your laptop. The audience doesn't know whose fault it was. All the audience knows is they're sitting around just wasting their time because oh my God, do we have a spare? I'm gonna try to shake beer out of my laptop. Have a backup copy. And if you're the type of person kind of like me, like if you keep editing your stuff at the last second, try to keep that backup copy synchronized, because if you have to press it into service, and all of a sudden you're like, oh God, this is 5 days old. I completely changed this, and that's not the right joke. Be on top of it, man. So yeah, test. Test your presentation on your laptop. Like when you write it, walk away from it, come back to it, test it again, make sure the flow feels right. I've totally seen presentations of mine where I'm like, ugh, oh God, what was I thinking? This doesn't make any sense, and I rework it. And then the night before, this is not a DEF CON main stage thing. And I look like I'm just up here kind of being a drunk idiot. I ran this last night, and I ran this slide deck this morning, just in the room. Not like for the full hour, but I just kind of clicked through it in my head, and I said, does this make sense? Yeah, this is good. And then I got down here, and I didn't just plug in and then walk away and make another drink. I ran a couple slides to make sure it was displaying right. This is because I care. I'm cursing at you a lot, but I care about you. I care about my audience, and I don't want them to be feeling like their time is wasted. Please clean up your desktop. I know that most of your presentations may be just slides, or maybe you have to launch a separate application. Maybe you have to launch a VM. Maybe you have to show some exploit code running in a console. Your slide deck or whatever else is on screen should be the audience focus. I don't know what all this shit is, but like close your email, close whatever that is, close your browser, close this PDF. That doesn't belong there. I know, like you've seen embarrassing crap on people's desktops. Like, get it off there. If someone's gonna potentially see your desktop, clean it up. Speaking of launching external applications, videos, you don't launch VLC and like muck around trying to find a file. PowerPoint, since about 97, has supported embedded videos. Embed the goddamn video. Yes, I know it makes the PowerPoint file bigger. It also makes it play flawlessly, instantly, perfectly. Somebody once said this should be the loading icon. I support that. And see, humor. We're back to humor, right? Absolutely. Humor makes it good. Have a little test video. Like, I have tons of goofy little gear. I love this. Is fascinating to me. The idea of a single fixed ratio gear, moving a motionary gear, stationary, move, stationary, move. It's I can watch this kind of stuff all day. The idea, you know how by the way, you know a sprinkler that moves slowly across the field and then comes back real fast? This is how that gear works. Again, embedded video, fun to watch. It's fascinating right here. Just slow, fast. And a lot of you aren't even watching this. You know why? How many of you have your guts twisted right now that there's a fucking cursor on the screen? It's not even mine. This is my cursor over here. I just put that on there to illustrate this point. Get your cursor off the video.
Oh my God.
You're dying right now. Can I make it better?
I'm dying.
Is this better? How about that? Okay? You really need that. All right, here you go.
My college professor?
There you go. Yes, I'm your college professor. Exactly. Now we can all breathe easy. Get the cursor off the screen. I know it's like little, it's dumb. And you're maybe watching your screen, not this screen. It's little things like that that are going to chew people up inside, and they're not going to be listening to your talk. Stage presence. This is a whole separate animal, and I know this doesn't come as easily as making good slides. So I am very relaxed up here, or at least I like to think I am. Maybe you think I'm just using this as a crutch. It's just, no, I just kind of drink too much of my life. But stage presence in terms of engaging with your audience. Yes, what do you got?
That is exactly what I was going to recommend.
What are you going to recommend?
Get somebody to sit in the audience, and every time you say they shoot you in the fucking chest.
Yes. So,
You drop the habit in about 10 minutes.
guys referencing, I created this idea called gunner. And you give your friends Nerf guns, and if you say during your presentation, or during a rehearsal of your presentation, they shoot you. Bam. You will get out of the habit as soon as you get tired of getting shot with darts. By the way, I don't know, have I said I'm not really tracking. I don't really pay attention to myself as I'm talking.
No, we haven't.
What is the secret to not saying no? Say something else. Say something, well, here's the idea.
Or take a second. Take a beat.
Take a beat, take a pause. Do you know psychologically why we say especially as speakers? In regular conversation, there's an ebb and flow. There's a I'm speaking, you're speaking. I'm speaking, you're speaking. And when you're presenting, that's not supposed to happen. You are commanding the room. So in order to overcome, and it's like a placeholder, you're saying so as to prevent this non-existent interruption. But engaging with your audience, eye contact with your audience, I don't know how many of you I've kind of looked at during this talk, and I'm just kicking around the room, but by making eye contact, I'm not looking at my slides, I'm not looking at the back of the room, and this might be hard depending on how comfortable you are with speaking. But this gets you out of the habit pretty fast. It'll slow you down. I think I'm speaking a little too fast. If you do a rehearsal, record your video of you rehearsing. Play it back. Oh my God, you're speaking faster than you think. Smooth it out. Yes?
But be prepared for situations where you're standing on a stage and there are lights and the audience is dark and you can't do that.
Yes, be prepared for situations when the audience is dark and you can't look someone in the eyes. Hopefully there's somebody, even in the very front row, have a couple of friends, or even just know that they're there. This is, I don't know how to glitch your head psychologically, but even if this whole room was house dark, I would know that Render's here, the Tara's here, the Stepto's here, the Rebecca's here, and I could just look knowing, in my heart, you're looking at me, even if I can't see you, you're looking at me, and I'm trying to make that eye contact. Yes?
What about I have the opposite problem, which is oh God, they're looking at me.
Yes, if you're nervous that they're looking at you,
And
what's he say?
a cab driver taught me this on my way to a conference. He said, it's a part of your brain that lights up. I think it's called the amygdala. So look at your audience, then gesture to your slides and look back when they're not looking at you.
That's pretty neat. So flipping a grand gesture, if I flip focus to my slides, especially when they're images, what's up, janitor? Dude, you're in my slides. You gotta hang out. Yeah, you're in my slides.
I was trying to say, get in here. You're in this deck.
So now everyone's looking at him and not me. So now I can relax. It's okay to be self-deprecating. It's okay to make, if you think you're nervous, kind of twist that into your humor and steal that thunder. Kevin Smith, the filmmaker, he's done so many talks with audiences where he says, well, I make fat jokes about myself, so that anyone else is like, well, he knows. And so yeah, be self-deprecating is fine. Being part of the group goes both ways. I talked about how the audience wants to feel like they're tracking and pacing and they're all shared in this moment. You are part of that moment though. Your body posture, open body posture is called. Right now, I'm square shoulders up towards you. I'm not trying to guard myself up. If you've ever seen people that are really nervous they'll often guard, subconscious. You shoulder up and you guard your vital areas. Even if no one out there is wielding a melee weapon at me, right? But if I was nervous, I would start doing this. Especially disarming to the audience is not only open body posture, but open palm posture. If I can make an effort, because this is weird. I mean, I'm not like preaching like Hosanna, but like if you can give open palm posture, even just right now, if I stand in the audience, if I'm speaking to you, now my body posture's open, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But if I were to speak to you like this, even if I'm gesturing, the fact that you see my hands, it disarms you. And it makes you, again, more relaxed into that moment. If you want to do something really neat, if you're really nervous, Amy Cuddy's given an amazing TED Talk where she, and I think Hadnam references this during his SE sessions.
But
She
it's
talks,
not
what's that?
But the studies aren't replicatable.
The studies aren't replicatable?
No.
Oh well. There's this notion that if you
It anecdotally
just
works.
kind of power
And
pose
again.
before you get on stage, that your body has a certain response. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that the placebo effect is big. So she gave a great TED Talk. Watch it. By all means. We could talk about things like Toastmasters. We can talk about all the resources on the internet. If you want to be just better at public speaking, like y'all know how to Google. Internet's out there. Find stuff. Yeah, see, humor works. Some really amazing inspirations though. Like Toastmasters, you want to just watch YouTube videos of people who are great speakers, fine. But they're speaking about their own topics. In the actual hacker world, InfoSec and hacker community. And again, we'll throw the slides up, I'll link to them somewhere on the website, I'm assuming, right? This is the list, this is my list, right? Start right off, Indy. Chris Nickerson, friend of ours, he and Amanda were at our wedding. He is very irreverent, he swears more than me. He is relaxed on stage though, he's funny. He manages to basically hit a lot of trigger warnings in his talk, but everyone comes out of there feeling just smiling and happy. And they're saying, oh my God, I can't believe I just saw this amazing talk. Even if, he, like our firm, he's a covert entry team. Like he runs a covert team, physically breaking into buildings. Most of the audience isn't gonna walk away saying, oh, I can do that, exactly that. But they're gonna walk away saying, oh my God, I experienced this amazing talk and I took something away that's actionable. If you've ever seen Doozy, Marissa Fagan, she used to be with Salesforce. I don't think she is anymore. She gave it, where's she? Yeah, but amazing speaker, a fun speaker. Her talk about being a mentor at DEF CON 18. You don't have to give a code-based talk to engage technical hackers. Amazing person, amazing talk, right? Joe McRae has this awesome hook, and I throw him in here because at the beginning of so many of his talks I've seen, he has this put up or shut up moment where he'll bust a hundo out of his wallet and he'll say, this is right here, and he throws him a link. He says, someone fetch this binary while I'm talking. If you think I'm boring, you got a minute, fire up your copy of IDA, and if you can reverse my binary in my talk right now, tell me what it does, earn that cash. And instantly, even if someone is not sure what they can or can't do, it's engaging. I've never seen anyone else do it. John Strand. Let me do my John Strand impression. This is my John Strand impression because I'm going to be over here, and then I'm going to be over here. And you think I've got a long coat, but I'm not because I'm John Strand, and I've got a really wholesome lifestyle, and I'm so full of energy. If you want to see a fireball on stage, watch anything John Strand has ever done. Super deep technical knowledge guy, but his material is so accessible. Probably my favorite one of his is How Not to Sell. He's given his active defense talk, most recently at HomeCon, was amazing. This one though, the idea of an accessible talk that is a rocket rod of energy. You don't have to be that energetic though. You don't have to be super up-amped, a really low and slow and just disciplined, calm, relaxed person. Major Mal, Adam Laurie, he's given a lot of talks at DEF CON years ago. Now I don't know when his last main stage talk was, but he's just this very soft-spoken guy. And you don't have to be John Strand. You can be Adam Laurie. And you can say, well, there's this thing, and here I have it, and there you go, and click. And the audience just busts out laughing because his timing is good and his slides are good. About being relaxed on stage, though, janitor, man, you don't look relaxed here because you're getting an awkward hug. But you are in my slide deck because Info Janitor is really you are the exemplar of being so in your element. And every talk I've ever seen him give, he is just happy. He's happy to be, honestly, if you're up on stage and you're not what the fuck are you doing up there if you're not happy to be there? You got chosen. All these people came in the room to see you. be happy about it. You can be nervous,